Last night I did it. I couldn't hold it in anymore. The weight on my chest had grown too heavy. I had to release what had been buried for far too long. So I opened up. I shared everything that had tormented me for months with her. Her reaction? Almost exactly what I expected. She exploded. Her face twisted in anger. Her voice trembled with fury. But then something unexpected happened. Her anger shifted. Not just at me, at you. Yes, you. At first I was stunned. She began cursing you. Her words were sharp, venomous. You weren't even in the conversation. You had no part in this tangled mess. Yet, there she was, throwing your name into the fire. It was strange. But let me explain. I'll tell you what I said, how she reacted, and why her anger turned on you. It wasn't because of anything you did, at least not directly. Her mindset revealed layers of denial, blame, and misplaced frustration. She couldn't face her actions or emotions. Instead of a real conversation, she deflected. She needed someone to blame. And this time it was you. I told her the truth. I said I wanted to be with someone else. I wanted to be with the person who truly made me happy. That person was you. I explained that I had moved on emotionally. I wanted her to do the same. I was direct because sugarcoating would only prolong her pain and my guilt. I believed honesty was the best way forward. When I said those words, her reaction hit like a tidal wave. Her face froze, contorted with shock and anger. Her body stiffened, bracing for impact. She stared, wide-eyed, as though I had slapped her with the truth. Her voice, trembling at first, rose to a crescendo. "You've been stringing me along," she yelled. "You were just playing with me." Her words cut deep. She poured out months of frustration, anger, and heartbreak. "You used me," she cried. "You lied to me." Her voice cracked, revealing a flicker of vulnerability. But that vulnerability hardened quickly into rage. Then came the part that truly shocked me. Her anger turned to you. "You!" She spat, as if you were standing right there. "This is all her fault. She's manipulative and controlling. She's the reason everything fell apart." I was stunned. You had no involvement in our relationship, not like that. But in her mind, you were the villain, the mastermind, the one pulling the strings. "She made you choose her over me, didn't she?" she demanded. Her eyes burned with desperation and fury. "She turned you against me. She's been driving a wedge between us all this time." I tried to tell her the truth. My feelings had changed naturally. No one else was responsible for my choices. But she wouldn't hear it. Her pain was too consuming. Her need for someone to blame was too strong. Her accusations only grew more venomous. "She twisted your mind. She led you away from me." In her story, you were the homewrecker, the intruder, the thief of what she thought was hers. But none of it was true. You had done nothing but be yourself. I fell for you because of who you are, not because of schemes or manipulation. But she couldn't see that. To her, the loss was unbearable. It was easier for her to believe you stole me than face the truth. Our relationship had simply run its course. My feelings had changed. Her anger wasn't really about you, though. It was about her pain, her inability to face what had happened. By blaming you, she avoided confronting reality. As her words grew harsher, I felt a mix of emotions. Guilt for causing her pain. Frustration for her refusal to see the truth. I wanted her to understand. This wasn't about you. It was about me and my choices. But she was too far gone in her anger. Her words dripped with bitterness. It was as if she thought hurting you would ease her pain. In her mind, you deserved to hurt as much as she did. But as I listened, I realized something important. Her anger wasn't truly about you or me. It was about her own struggles, her own heartbreak. She couldn't accept the reality of the situation, so she created a villain. That night, as I left, I felt relief. I had spoken my truth, but I also felt sadness for her. She was hurting deeply. I wished she could see the truth. Blaming you wouldn't ease her pain. It would only prolong it. Her words were harsh, but they don't define you. They reflect her struggles, her inability to process what happened. You are not the villain in this story. You're the person who showed me true love, real happiness. If her words ever reach you, know this. They're a cry of pain, not a judgment of your character. Hold your head high. Our love is genuine. It's built on mutual respect and connection, not manipulation, not deceit. As for her, I hope she finds peace. I hope she lets go of the anger and heals. She deserves happiness too, even if it's not the happiness she once imagined. Human emotions are complex. We all carry burdens and fears. Her pain was too much to bear, so she directed her anger outward. It was easier than facing the truth. But the truth is simple. Sometimes love fades. People grow apart. It's painful, but it happens. I hope she finds her way forward. I've thought a lot about the role you played in all this. Not her narrative, mine. You weren't the cause of our relationship's end, but you were the catalyst for my realization. I deserved more. You showed me happiness, respect, love in its truest form. You didn't twist my mind. You simply loved me. For that, I'll always be grateful. Her words may have been harsh, but don't let them hurt you. They were born out of pain, not truth. You helped me find a better life, a happier one. For that, I'll always be thankful. I hope she finds peace. I hope she heals. It won't be easy. The wounds she carries are deep, etched into her heart by love lost and expectations unmet. But I believe she has the strength to overcome it. Because despite everything, I know her heart. She is resilient, even if she doesn't feel that way now. She's not defined by this pain. She is more than her anger, more than her heartbreak. Her journey won't be linear. There will be days when the weight of loss feels unbearable. Days when she might be tempted to fall back into bitterness. But with time and understanding, I believe she'll find her way. Life is too short for anger and resentment. Holding on to those feelings won't bring back what we had. It won't make the pain go away. It will only anchor her to the past. We all deserve love and happiness, even if it doesn't look like the love we once dreamed of. Even if it's not found in the places we first sought it. Sometimes love ends. But that doesn't mean love can't be found again in new, unexpected places. We all have the right to start over, to choose joy again, even after loss. For her, that may mean finding love within herself before she looks for it elsewhere. It may mean rediscovering her worth, independent of anyone else. Because the truth is, she is enough on her own. And she deserves happiness for no other reason than that simple fact. I wish she could see that now. But healing takes time. I hope she doesn't rush it. I hope she doesn't bury her pain beneath anger and blame. Because pain that is buried only festers. It grows into resentment, eating away at the light inside of us. I want better for her. I want her to feel free again, unburdened by what we had and lost. That's why I hope she finds her peace, however she needs to find it. I hope she realizes that letting go doesn't mean she lost. It means she's making space for new beginnings. I hope one day she'll look back on all this, not with bitterness, but with understanding. Understanding that some chapters are meant to end. That some love stories teach us more about ourselves than about forever. And that's okay. As for me, I close this chapter with hope. For her, for you, and for myself. Because we all deserve a brighter future. A future free from guilt, regret, and lingering pain. A future filled with possibility. I know our paths have diverged. We won't walk the same road anymore. But that doesn't mean I won't wish her well. I do, truly. I wish her all the love and joy that life has to offer, even if it's no longer found by my side. I've spent many nights thinking about all of this, reflecting on the choices I made, the conversations we had, the things left unsaid, and the moments that shaped us. I won't pretend I'm blameless. I made mistakes. I could have been more honest, more open from the start. But hindsight is always clearer than the present. I see now that our love began to shift long before either of us acknowledged it. What once felt easy began to feel heavy. What once felt exciting became routine. And somewhere along the way, my heart began to drift. I didn't want to admit it at first, because admitting it meant facing the reality that things had changed, that the connection we once shared had faded. I held on for longer than I should have. Part of me hoped things would magically fix themselves, that we'd find our way back to each other without having to face the hard truths. But life doesn't work that way. Love doesn't work that way. And pretending only delayed the inevitable. When I met you, something shifted within me. It wasn't instant, but it was real. You showed me what it meant to be truly seen. To be loved not for who I used to be, but for who I was becoming. You didn't ask me to change or compromise my happiness. You simply accepted me as I was, flaws and all. And that acceptance felt like a breath of fresh air. I hadn't realized how suffocated I'd felt until then. It wasn't your fault or hers. Sometimes people just grow in different directions, and no amount of love or effort can change that. But leaving a relationship, especially one built on so much history, is never easy. There's a weight to it, a sadness for what was and what will never be. But staying for the sake of comfort or guilt would have been unfair to both of us. We deserved honesty, even if it hurt. That night, when I told her the truth, I didn't expect peace right away. I didn't expect her to understand, not immediately. But I hoped she'd see that my decision wasn't about punishment or betrayal. It was about finding real happiness for both of us. Because she deserves someone who loves her fully, someone whose heart doesn't waver. And I deserve that too. We all do. In the days since that conversation, I've thought a lot about forgiveness. Forgiving her for the hurtful words she spoke. Forgiving myself for not ending things sooner. Forgiving the past for not turning out the way I once imagined. Because forgiveness is freedom. It's letting go of the weight we carry in our hearts. It's choosing peace over bitterness. And I choose peace. I choose hope. For her healing. For your happiness. For my own growth. Our paths may no longer be intertwined, but that doesn't mean we're enemies. It doesn't mean there's no room for compassion. Because life is too short to hold on to anger. I believe that one day, we'll all look back on this chapter with clarity. We'll see the lessons it taught us, the strength it gave us, and maybe, just maybe, we'll be grateful for it. Grateful for the love we shared, even if it didn't last forever. Grateful for the ways it shapes us into who we are now. And grateful for the new beginnings that followed. Because every ending is also a beginning. Even the hardest endings make room for something new. A new understanding. A new chance to grow. A new chance to love in a deeper, truer way. That's why I choose gratitude. I choose to focus on the good, even if it hurts right now. Because the good moments were real. The laughter, the connection, the memories we created were real. They may not last forever, but they leave a mark on the soul. And for that, I'm thankful. It's easy to dwell on the pain, to let regret overshadow everything else. But that's not how I want to live. That's not how I want to remember this chapter of my life. Instead, I want to hold on to the lessons. Lessons about love, about honesty, about letting go when it's time, even when it's difficult. I learned that love alone isn't always enough. It takes alignment of values, dreams, and timing. Without those things, love can become strained, no matter how deep the feelings once were. I also learned that it's okay to outgrow a relationship. It doesn't mean it wasn't meaningful. It doesn't mean we failed. It simply means we grew in different directions. And growth is never something to be ashamed of. Sometimes, letting go is the most loving thing we can do. It's not easy. It hurts. But in the end, it's an act of kindness for ourselves and for each other. Because holding on to something that no longer fits only prolongs the pain. It blocks us from moving forward, from healing, from finding the happiness we deserve. I want her to find that happiness, even if it's not with me. I want her to find someone who can love her the way she needs to be loved. Someone who will cherish her, support her, and never make her feel less than enough. She deserves that. We all do. I also hope she finds peace. Real peace. The kind that comes from within. The kind that doesn't rely on anyone else. Because true peace can't be given by another person. It comes from self-acceptance. From learning to love yourself, flaws and all. I hope she reaches that place someday. A place where she no longer feels the need to blame or hold on to anger. Where she can let go of the past and fully embrace her future. Because that's where true healing begins. As for me, I'm learning to embrace my own future. It's not always easy. Change is scary, even when it's the right thing. But I'm learning to trust the process. To trust that every step forward brings me closer to the life I'm meant to live. A life filled with love, connection, and joy. A life that's authentic and true. You've been such a big part of that journey. You showed me what love could be. Love that's rooted in acceptance, not judgment. Love that's built on respect, not control. With you, I don't feel the need to be anyone other than myself. And that's a rare, beautiful gift. One I don't take for granted. You didn't ask for any of this. You didn't ask to be pulled into someone else's anger and pain. But you handled it with grace. Even when you were unfairly blamed, you didn't retaliate. You didn't sink to that level. Instead, you chose understanding. You saw her pain for what it was, a reflection of her own struggles, not a reflection of you. And that speaks to the kind of person you are. You are strong, kind, patient, and I'm so grateful for you. I know this hasn't been easy. Loving me, especially through all of this, has come with its challenges. But you never wavered. You stood by me with compassion and empathy. And for that, I'll always be thankful. As we move forward together, I want to focus on what we're building. A relationship that's healthy and grounded. A relationship built on trust, openness, and mutual respect. I know it won't be perfect. Nothing ever is. But I believe in us. I believe in the love we share. Because it's real. It's not built on manipulation or fantasy. It's built on choice. On seeing each other clearly and choosing to show up every day. That's the kind of love I want to nurture. The kind of love that can grow and evolve over time. And I'm excited for what the future holds for us. There will be challenges, we can't control that. But we can control how we face them. Together, with honesty, compassion, and grace. As for her, I hope one day she finds that too. Her own version of happiness. Her own version of love. And if she ever looks back, I hope she sees that our story wasn't about failure. It was about growth. Growth that sometimes requires us to let go. Growth that makes room for new beginnings, new possibilities, new hope. Every relationship leaves its mark. Some marks are painful, like scars. Others are tender, like memories that linger on the edge of a smile. But all of them shape who we are. They teach us, they challenge us, and they prepare us for what's next. For her, I hope the marks this relationship left behind eventually feel like lessons learned. Not lessons in heartbreak or regret, but lessons in strength, in resilience. I hope she sees that just because a love ends doesn't mean it was wasted. It doesn't mean it wasn't real. We loved each other in the best way we could at the time. Even if that love wasn't meant to last forever, it mattered. It was part of her story, part of mine, and part of the path that led us both to where we are now. So, as I close this chapter, I do so with love in my heart. For her, for you, and for myself. Because we all deserve a brighter future. A future where we are free to be our truest selves. Free to love and be loved without guilt, fear, or hesitation. I believe we'll find it. I believe in new beginnings. Beginnings that are built on truth and authenticity. Beginnings that feel light, not heavy. That feels like home. That's what I've found with you. A love that doesn't weigh me down but lifts me up. A love that feels easy not because life is perfect, but because we're committed to facing life together. With honesty, with empathy, with trust. Trust is everything, isn't it? It's the foundation of any healthy relationship. Without it, everything crumbles. That's why I'm so grateful for the trust we've built. It wasn't handed to us. It wasn't automatic. We earned it day by day, through open conversations, through showing up when it mattered, through understanding each other's pasts without judgment. That's what makes this love so different. It's not built on illusions or false expectations. It's built on reality, on seeing each other's flaws and loving each other anyway. That's the kind of love I want to nurture, the kind of love that grows deeper over time. And I know it won't be without its challenges. No relationship is. But I'm ready to face those challenges with you, because I know we're on the same team. We're not here to tear each other down. We're here to lift each other up, to build a life that feels whole, not fractured. A life where both of us can thrive. That's why I chose you. Every day I choose you, not out of obligation, not out of fear of being alone, but because loving you is a choice that brings me peace, joy, a sense of belonging I've never known before. And I don't take that lightly. I don't take you for granted. I never will. Because I know how rare this is. How rare it is to find someone who truly sees you, who accepts every part of you, the good, the messy, the complicated. You've shown me what it means to be loved without conditions. And that's a gift I'll never forget. As I reflect on everything that's happened, I feel a sense of closure. Not because the past doesn't matter anymore, it does. But because I've made peace with it. I've made peace with the mistakes, the heartbreak, and the lessons learned. I've made peace with her anger, her accusations, her pain. Because I know now that her words weren't a reflection of me. They were a reflection of her own struggles, her own need for healing. And while I couldn't be the person to help her heal, I hope she finds someone who can. Or better yet, I hope she finds that healing within herself. Because healing doesn't come from another person. It comes from within. It comes from facing the hard truths, from letting go of what no longer serves you, and from embracing the possibility of new joy. I want that for her. Even if our paths never cross again, I wish her peace. I wish for her love. I wish her happiness. And I hope that one day she looks back and feels gratitude too. Gratitude for the lessons, for growth, for the strength she found within herself. Because life is too short to carry bitterness. It's too short to stay stuck in anger or resentment. We all deserve freedom from that. Freedom to move forward, to embrace the next chapter, to create a life that feels whole and true. So, as I close this chapter, I do so with hope. For her healing, for your happiness, and for my own growth. Because this isn't just the end of one story. It's the beginning of a new one. And I believe this new story will be beautiful. It will be filled with love, with laughter, with moments of connection that remind us why we're here. Why do we keep choosing each other every day? Because love is not just a one-time decision. It's a choice we make over and over again, even when things get hard, even when life throws unexpected challenges our way. I believe in us, in our future, in the life we're building together. A life filled with trust and understanding, A life where we can both be fully ourselves. No masks, no pretending. Just honesty and openness, no matter what. And no matter what challenges come our way, I know we'll face them with strength. And because we've already faced so much together, we've had conversations that weren't easy. We've looked our fears and insecurities in the eye and didn't run from them. We didn't run from each other. Instead, we leaned in. We listened. We stayed. That takes strength. Not the kind of strength that comes from holding things in or powering through alone, but the kind that comes from vulnerability, from admitting when we're scared, from trusting each other enough to say, I need you. That's real strength. And I know we'll carry that strength into our future, with grace. Because love without grace is just a set of expectations waiting to be broken. But love with grace is patient. It makes space for mistakes and forgiveness. It understands that we are human, imperfect, messy, and ever-changing. I don't expect perfection from you, and you don't expect it from me. That's what makes this love so freeing. We're not trying to be anything but who we are. And that kind of acceptance is rare. It's something I'll never take for granted. With love. Because love isn't just a feeling, it's an action. It's showing up every day with compassion. It's being present in the moments that matter. It's offering a shoulder when the world feels heavy, a hand to hold when everything feels uncertain, and a steady, unwavering presence in both the good times and the hard ones. Love isn't always grand gestures. Sometimes it's found in the little things. The way you look at me when I'm lost in thought. The way you listen, even when I'm struggling to find the right words. The way you make me laugh when I need it most. These moments remind me that we're building something real, something lasting, because we've learned. We've learned from the past the good and the painful. We've learned what it means to communicate, what it means to listen with an open heart, what it means to be honest, even when it's uncomfortable. And we've learned what it means to grow together. Growth isn't always easy. Sometimes it's messy and unpredictable, but it's necessary. Because we're not the same people we were when this journey began. We've evolved, individually and together. And that evolution has brought us closer. It's made us stronger. And it's shown us what we're capable of. That's why I'm not afraid of what comes next. I know we're ready for it. Whatever life throws our way, we'll handle it together. Because we've built a foundation that's steady and secure. A foundation rooted in trust, in friendship, in love that's real and lasting. So here's to new beginnings, to brighter futures. Futures filled with love, connection, and hope. For all of us. For her. Because despite everything, I want happiness for her too. I want her to find her own peace, her own love, her own new beginning. I hope one day she looks back on everything and sees the growth. I hope she finds the healing she deserves. And I hope she learns to let go of the pain. Because carrying bitterness will only hold her back. She deserves to be free of that burden. And I believe she'll find it, in her own time, in her own way. For you, because you've been my light through the darkness, my calm in the chaos. You've shown me what it means to be loved without conditions. You've reminded me that love doesn't have to be complicated. It can be simple, pure, and steady. And that kind of love is rare. It's something I'll cherish for the rest of my life. With you, I feel safe. Safe to be vulnerable. Safe to dream again. Safe to build a future that's filled with possibility. And I'm excited for that future. For the adventures we'll have. For the quiet moments we'll share. For the life we'll continue to build together. And for myself. Because I've learned to love myself again. I've learned to let go of the guilt, to release the weight of past mistakes, to forgive myself for not having all the answers. Healing is a journey, and I'm still on that path, but I'm proud of how far I've come. I'm proud of the choices I've made for my happiness, for my peace, and for my future. Because I deserve love, I deserve happiness, and I deserve a life that feels full and true. We all do. Life is too short to settle for anything less. So here's to hope. Hope for healing. Hope for love. Hope for brighter days ahead, because no matter where we've been, the future is always full of possibility, and I believe we'll find it. I believe we'll find the happiness we deserve, the love we've been searching for, and the peace that comes with letting go of the past. So, as I close this chapter, I do so with gratitude for the lessons that weren't always easy to learn but were necessary. Lessons about love, what it is and what it isn't. I learned that love should feel like freedom, not a cage. That it should lift you up, not weigh you down. I learned that love doesn't mean sacrificing who you are to make someone else happy. True love doesn't demand that kind of self-abandonment. I'm grateful for those lessons. They've helped me grow, helped me see myself more clearly, helped me realize that I am worthy of love that feels whole and honest. For growth. Because growth isn't always comfortable. In fact, it's often painful. It asks us to step outside of what's familiar, to let go of the things we once held tightly, even if they no longer serve us. But without growth, there's no progress. Without growth, we stay stuck. And I'm not willing to stay stuck. I'm ready to move forward. Even if the path ahead is uncertain, I trust myself to walk it. And I trust you to walk it with me. For the love that was shared, even if it didn't last forever. Because that love mattered. It wasn't perfect, but it was real. There were moments of joy, moments of connection, moments when we gave each other what we could. Those moments are part of my story now. And while the relationship may have ended, the memories don't have to be tainted by regret. I can honor what was without holding on to what could have been. I can appreciate the love that existed while accepting that it wasn't meant to last. There's beauty in that kind of acceptance. It's a form of peace. And for the love that's just beginning, this love is different. It's not built on fantasy or illusion. It's built on truth, on seeing each other for who we are and choosing to stay, choosing to love every single day. That's a love worth celebrating. It's a love worth nurturing. And I'm ready to do just that. Because every ending is also a beginning. The end of one chapter makes space for the next. A new story waiting to unfold. A story full of possibility. A chance to start fresh. To build something better. Something rooted in honesty and trust. Something that doesn't carry the weight of past mistakes or old wounds. This is that chance. And I don't want to waste it. To create something new. Something beautiful. Because love should be beautiful. Not in a perfect picture book way, but in a way that's real and raw and genuine. Beautiful in its simplicity. In the quiet moments. We show up for each other every day. In the way we listen and support and care. That's the kind of beauty I want to build with you. And I'm ready for that. For all of it. The joy. The challenges. The growth that comes with loving someone deeply and truly. I'm ready to show up fully to be present for all the ups and downs. Because I know we're strong enough to handle it. Together. Because we all deserve happiness. Real happiness. The kind that doesn't rely on anyone else's approval. The kind that comes from living authentically. From loving wholeheartedly. From choosing joy, even when life is hard. That happiness is within reach. It's not a distant dream. It's something we can create every day. And I'm committed to creating it. For both of us. We all deserve love. Not just any love, but love that's kind. Love that's patient. Love that doesn't expect perfection but celebrates the effort. Love that's a safe place to land when the world feels overwhelming. We deserve that kind of love. And I'm so grateful to have found it with you. I believe we'll find it. In each other. In ourselves. In the life we're building together. A life that feels authentic. A life that reflects who we are individually and as a couple. It won't be perfect, but it will be real. Real in its joys. Real in its challenges. Real in its growth. This is just the beginning. The start of something new and exciting. A new chapter filled with endless possibilities. Possibilities for growth. Growth that comes from learning more about each other every day. From supporting one another through life's twists and turns. From being vulnerable enough to say, I'm struggling. And trusting the other person to listen. Growth that strengthens our connection. That deepens our understanding. That allows us to become the best versions of ourselves, not for each other, but alongside each other. For joy. Joy that doesn't just come from big, celebratory moments, but from the small, everyday moments that make life meaningful. The quiet mornings together, sipping coffee and sharing stories. The spontaneous laughter that erupts over an inside joke. The comfort of knowing that no matter what happens, we're in this together. These are the moments that create a joyful life. Moments that remind us why we chose each other in the first place. And why do we keep choosing each other every day? For love that continues to evolve and deepen over time. Because love isn't static. It changes as we change. It grows as we grow. It deepens with every shared experience, every challenge overcome, every moment of vulnerability. Our love today is different from the love we had at the start. It's richer now, more grounded, more honest. And I know it will continue to evolve. Because we're committed to nurturing it, to invest in it, to show up for each other, even on the hard days. I'm ready for it all. For the good days and the tough ones. For the times when everything feels effortless. And the times when it takes work to stay connected. Because real, lasting love is worth the effort. It's worth the vulnerability, the communication, the patience. I'm ready to give that love to you. And I'm ready to receive it in return. Because we deserve this. We deserve a love that feels safe and steady, a love that lifts us up, not tears us down, a love that makes space for our individuality while strengthening our partnership. Because we've worked for this. We've put in the time, the effort, the conversations that weren't always easy but were always necessary. We've learned how to listen, really listen to each other, how to respect each other's needs and boundaries, how to communicate with honesty and kindness. And that work has laid the foundation for something beautiful, something lasting. And because love is real, honest love can heal, transform, and uplift. Love has the power to heal old wounds, to mend the parts of ourselves that were once broken, to replace fear with trust and doubt with hope. Love doesn't erase the past, but it can help us make peace with it. It can remind us that we are worthy of happiness, of joy, of all the good things life has to offer. Love also transforms. It transforms how we see ourselves, how we see each other. It changes the way we navigate the world, knowing we have a partner by our side, someone who believes in us, someone who chooses us every single day. And love uplifts. It lifts us out of darkness, out of loneliness, out of self-doubt. It gives us the courage to dream again, to hope again, to trust again. That's the kind of love we're building. A love that heals, transforms, and uplifts. So here's to new beginnings, to the fresh start we've chosen for ourselves. A start free from the weight of the past. A start filled with hope and possibility. To brighter futures. Futures that are filled with light and laughter. With shared dreams and new adventures. Futures where we continue to grow and evolve, both individually and together. Where we create the life we want, on our own terms. A life that feels true, fulfilling, whole. To the love we're creating every day. Because love isn't a one-time event. It's a daily choice, a practice, a commitment. Every day we choose to love each other. Through the joys and the challenges. Through the changes and the uncertainties. Through the challenges life will inevitably bring our way. Through moments of joy and moments of doubt. Through every triumph and every setback. Through it all, we choose love. We choose each other. Not because it's always easy, but because it's worth it. Love doesn't guarantee a smooth path. It doesn't mean we won't face difficult days or difficult conversations. But love does mean we'll show up for each other, no matter what. It means we'll listen, even when it's hard to hear. It means we'll forgive, even when it's easier to hold on to hurt. It means we'll be patient with ourselves, with each other, and with the process of growing together. And when life feels uncertain, when the ground shifts beneath our feet, we'll find our balance together. Because together, we are stronger. Together, we can weather any storm. Together, we remind each other of our resilience, our ability to adapt, to learn, to move forward. Even when the world feels overwhelming, together we can create a space that feels safe and steady. Together, we are better. We bring out the best in each other. We challenge each other to grow in ways we might not have on our own. You inspire me to be more thoughtful, more compassionate, more present. You remind me of what it means to be loved fully and unconditionally. And I hope I do the same for you. Together, we build something greater than the sum of our parts. A relationship rooted in mutual respect and admiration, in trust and honesty, in laughter and shared dreams. Together, we can create a life that feels meaningful and beautiful. A life where we're not just surviving, but thriving. Where we're creating memories that we'll cherish for years to come. A life that's rich, not because of material things, but because of the love and connection we share. I'm excited for that life. Excited for all that's to come. The adventures we'll have. The new experiences we'll share. The traditions we'll create together. I'm excited for the everyday moments too. The quiet mornings, the spontaneous laughter, the conversations that stretch late into the night. Because those are the moments that make a life. Those are the moments that build a love story. Because I believe in us. I believe in the foundation we've built. A foundation that's steady even when life feels uncertain. A foundation that's rooted in trust, in communication, in a deep, abiding respect for one another. I believe in the future we're building. A future that feels hopeful and bright. A future where we continue to grow, both individually and together. Where we support each other's dreams and celebrate each other's successes. Where we navigate the challenges hand in hand, knowing we're stronger together. I believe that our love will continue to grow, deepen, and strengthen over time. Because love is a living, evolving thing. It's not static. It grows as we grow. It changes as we change. And every experience we share, every conversation, every challenge, every joyful moment adds another layer to that love. It deepens our connection, strengthens our bond, and reminds us of why we chose each other in the first place. This is our new chapter. A chapter filled with hope and possibility. A chapter where we get to decide what comes next. Where we get to build a life that reflects who we are and what we value. A chapter where we continue to learn from the past while looking forward to the future. Our new beginning. A fresh start. A chance to leave behind anything that no longer serves us and embrace what does. A chance to build something beautiful together. And I'm ready for all of it. I'm ready to show up for this love every day. To choose you, again and again. To be present in the moments that matter. To listen with an open heart. To love with patience and compassion. I'm ready to celebrate the joys with you. To laugh with you, dream with you, and build a future filled with happiness. And I'm ready for the hard moments too. The moments when we feel vulnerable or unsure. The moments when we have to work through misunderstandings or navigate challenges. Because those moments are part of any relationship. And I trust us to handle them with grace, with kindness, with love. I trust us to come out stronger on the other side. Because we've already shown that we can. We've already shown that our love is resilient. That it can weather life's ups and downs. That it can grow through every experience, every challenge, every change. So here's to us. To our love, to the life we're building together. Here's to the memories we've already created and the ones still to come. Here's to the lessons we've learned and the growth that lies ahead. Lessons about communication. How to truly listen, not just hear. Lessons about patience. How to give each other space when needed and hold space when it's asked for. Lessons about forgiveness. How to let go of resentment and move forward together. And lessons about vulnerability. How to open our hearts fully, knowing it's safe to do so. These lessons haven't always been easy, but they've been worth it because they've brought us closer. They've laid the foundation for the love we have today, and I know they'll continue to guide us in the future. Here's to choosing each other every day, because love isn't a one-time decision. It's a choice we make over and over again, even on the hard days, even when life feels chaotic and uncertain. Choosing each other means showing up, not just when it's convenient, but when it's necessary. It means standing by each other through the storms as well as the sunshine. It means saying, I'm here, no matter what. To show up even when it's hard. Because love isn't always easy. There will be times when we feel frustrated or misunderstood. Times when life's challenges test our patience. But those are the moments that matter most. The moments when choosing to stay, to listen, to work through the tough stuff is what deepens our bond. Those moments are opportunities for growth for us as individuals and as a couple. And I'm committed to showing up for you every single time. To love with our whole hearts. Not halfway. Not with walls up or reservations. But fully and completely. With honesty and openness. With compassion and kindness. To love wholeheartedly means to embrace each other as we are. Not just the polished parts, but the messy, complicated parts too. It means loving through imperfections, not despite them. It means loving each other for who we are, not for who we wish each other to be. That's the kind of love I want to give you. The kind of love I'll choose every day. Here's to new beginnings. Because every day is a chance to start fresh, to leave behind old hurts and step into a brighter future, to create new memories and build new dreams together. This is our new chapter. A chapter filled with hope and possibility. A chapter where we continue to grow, to learn, to evolve, to brighter futures. Futures where we support each other's dreams, where we celebrate each other's victories, big and small. Where we lift each other up when things get tough. I see so much potential in our future. Potential for joy, for adventure, for a love that only deepens with time. And I'm excited to step into that future with you. To love that's real, honest, and lasting. A love that's built on trust, not just feelings. A love that's steady, even when life feels anything but. A love that makes space for growth, for change, for all the ways we'll continue to evolve. This love is real. It's grounded in truth, not illusion. It's honest. We don't hide from each other. We don't pretend. We face the truth head on, knowing that honesty is the foundation of any lasting connection. And this love is lasting. Because it's not just about passion or chemistry. It's about partnership, about choosing each other every day no matter what. Because we deserve this. We deserve a love that feels safe and steady. A love that brings out the best in both of us. A love that supports our dreams and encourages our growth. We've worked for this. We've put in the time, the effort, the conversations. We've navigated challenges and come out stronger on the other side. We've built something that's real and meaningful. Something that's worth protecting. and we've earned it. Love isn't handed to us, it's created. It's nurtured day by day. We've earned the connection we share, the trust we've built, the future we're creating together. I'm excited for all that's to come, for the adventures we'll have, for the new experiences we'll share, for the memories we'll create, the traditions we'll start, the dreams we'll chase, for the quiet moments, the laughter, the late night talks, the simple joy of being together. Because those moments are the heart of our love story. They're what make our life together so special, for the life we'll share, a life that feels authentic and true, a life that reflects who we are both as individuals and as a couple, a life that's filled with meaning, with purpose, with love, for the love that will continue to deepen and evolve over time. Because love isn't static. It grows as we grow. It changes as we change. Every experience we share, every challenge, every triumph adds another layer to our love. It deepens our connection, strengthens our bond, and reminds us of why we chose each other in the first place. Because together, we are stronger. Together, we can face whatever life throws our way. Together, we remind each other of our resilience, our ability to adapt, to learn, to move forward. Even when the world feels uncertain, together we find our balance. Together, we are better. We bring out the best in each other. We inspire each other to grow, to dream, to be our best selves. You make me better, more thoughtful, more compassionate, more present. And I hope I do the same for you. Together, we create something greater than the sum of our parts, something beautiful. And together, we can create something truly beautiful, a life filled with love, connection, and meaning. A future filled with hope and possibility. A love story that continues to grow, to evolve, to deepen over time. I'm ready for all of it. The joy, the challenges, the growth, the love. Because I believe in us. I believe in the future we're building. And I believe that our love will continue to heal, transform, and uplift us every single day.